Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Nittany No Huddle Podcast.
We are 4-0. Let's go. What a win. I would be lying if I said I wasn't nervous for most of that game, but pulled it out, ended up winning 21-7 versus the Illinois Fighting Illini. Devin, I'll turn it over to you. I know I was just on the live stream for 3 hours and was talking all Penn State. What did you think? Instant reaction.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I only saw a little bit of the first half, and then watched the whole second half with you there on the stream. And man, we looked really, really, really good at points, and then still make some dumb mistakes, some things that maybe weren't as great. But I mean, you look at those stats. Drew Aller, 15 of 21, didn't do anything crazy, 135 yards, not a huge percentage. I think he led the nation in like yards per completion. Definitely didn't happen tonight, but didn't need to because we ran it 44 times for 239 yards. I mean, that's huge. Katron with 102, Singleton with 94, both of them with a score. Just our offensive line absolutely dominated tonight's game, and there's no way around it. Our offensive line was the best unit on the field all night long.
Yeah, I agree completely. I mean, just those rushing stats, 44 carries for 239 yards, 3 touchdowns, and only a long run of 14, both by Allen and
Exactly,
Singleton.
yeah.
That is just efficiency. And I couldn't be happier with our run game. I would have liked us to score a little more points, but we left a lot of points on the board. We missed 2 field goals, went for it on a 4th down, didn't get it. So really on 3 of those drives, we could have scored points on, to be honest. And, you know, that's the difference in Vegas spread right there, man. But yeah, Aller played very solid, 15 to 21, 135 yards. Didn't need him to play special tonight. Took care of the ball, which is the biggest thing. No turnovers and only 2 turnovers for Illinois. That makes a huge difference. So that's how you win football games. Our defense, I think, looked really good. Defensive line was phenomenal tonight. Just going through the Illinois stats, only 185 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Could have been 2, to be honest. Yeah. And then Illinois rushing, 32 carries, 34 yards. That's how you get it done. Now, granted, take out the sacks because those count for some reason. Altmaier had 15 carries for negative 28 yards. Josh McCray had 3 carries for negative 2 yards. Aiden Lowry had 1 carry. Lowry had 1 carry, 0 yards. And Caden Fagan had 13 carries for 64 yards. And 35 of that came on 1 carry. So, yeah, took care of business. Super excited. That was great. Let's see what else we have here.
I echo you. I echo you completely about the running game too. I mean, I know Zach is a huge. He hates that sacks include in rushing yards. I'm just so used to it that I actually think it's good because it's technically rushing yards. It shows that they ran the ball backwards. So to get negative 28 rushing yards on the quarterback, Penn State had 7 sacks and 13 TFLs. That's huge. I mean, that's just and sacks from everybody. Jalen Reed, Kobe King, Abdul Carter had a half. Zane Durant, Tony Rojas, DDS, Smith Vilbert. You're getting everybody out there getting sacks tonight. So that's huge. It's not just one dimensional. I
like how the box score
34 rushing yards.
It has team sack total.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm guessing that means they don't know who it was or don't have a page.
Well, I'm pretty sure this isn't correct either because Abdul Carter definitely had a solo sack.
Yeah.
And he had the strip sack fumble.
Yeah, that's true.
So it'll probably update later, but
yeah. Still, that's awesome. That's huge. For the defense to be that dominant. I mean, we talked all season that we thought our defense could be dominant. And then obviously Kent State's one of the worst teams in college football right now. But you come off that Bowling Green game where they just picked us apart, and we are lucky we survived that game. And then Kent State, you come back and you hold a team to under 80 yards for an entire college football game. Even the worst team in America, you should be able to get 100 yards. Kent State got over 100 against Tennessee. So to do that and then to bounce back tonight and hold them to what 200 and I suck at math 250 225 yards of 229 yards of offense. That's a dominating performance.
Yeah, they had 219 yards total.
219 yards. That's just a dominating performance. I mean, I couldn't be happier with our offensive line and our defensive line, which were the two things that we needed to win tonight and to win in the Big Ten. You have to be good at, and we showed that tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, Duncan, welcome back. You missed our 3-hour live stream during the game. So next time we do that, you have to check it out. Illinois is very solid, well-rounded, good team. It was very good all around. If I'm going to nitpick anything, our kicking was terrible. And that makes me worried for when we get into close games. Yep. Now, maybe down the line, I think Ryan Baker's the kicker who came in for the last extra point. Maybe he'll be utilized more. I don't think you can let Sahadak kick anymore.
No, and so I have Sahadak's stats up because I wanted to make sure I didn't say that he is as bad as I thought he was. So in his career,
48% on the year or something like that.
In his career now on field goals, so 3 years at Penn State, he is 3 for 7. He is 1 for 5 on kicks of 30 yards or longer.
That's terrible.
1 for 5. Like you have at some point you have to move on. Obviously, he lost the job last year when he went 0 for 2 on field goals. Now he misses it tonight. Like you gotta move on. I mean, it's time. You gotta move on.
Yeah. Yeah, and real quick, I'll address the comment. Duncan, yeah, we did a live stream like during the game, doing some play-by-play and just color commentary as the game was unfolding. So go check it out. I think we had
like being at the bar with Nittany No Huddle.
Yeah, we had 1,000 people tune in total. So pretty happy with that over 3 hours. We won't be able to do it for every game, but tonight I was able to make it happen because there's a night game. Just worked out. So it was fun. Make sure to check it out. It's up on YouTube too. You can go back and rewatch it if you really want to. But thanks for commenting and thanks for being part of the show. Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do kicking wise. I don't know anything about Ryan Baker. I hope he's better than Sahadak, but
yeah. Either way, like you said, that is a problem, and it's a huge concern going into the core of our Big Ten season.
I agree. And like we need those points. I mean, I'm not saying you have to make every field goal, right? Because that's just not realistic. Ideally, that's what we would want, but I'm not gonna, badmouth a kicker for missing a 48-yarder or 50-yarder, whatever the case is, But yeah, that's something that needs to be addressed. I'm sure Franklin will take care of that before our next game at UC or versus UCLA this upcoming weekend. I'm feeling good. Like this was definitely the trap game I thought of the season for us. Devin, I don't know what you thought.
Yeah. This was one that I had circled, especially after last weekend. The way they played against Nebraska, who I still think Nebraska is a really solid team. I don't think they're a 10-11 win team, but I think they're a very good team. And for Illinois to win that game on the road in Nebraska, I was definitely concerned about tonight. I mean, I think James Franklin was really concerned about tonight. Why else would you call for a whiteout that wasn't scheduled if you aren't concerned? So, it's impressive, and it's a big one to the first huge step towards what can we become. I still think we have a lot of flaws. I'm not saying we're winning a national championship because we're really far away from that, but this is a big win for this season and for this team specifically. when you think about how much we lost from last year, how much the team lost from last year, and still had such high expectations, and then you look shaky for a half against West Virginia. You should have lost to Bowling Green. This is a big win for their confidence moving forward, that they should go into the next few weeks and really feel like they can beat anybody.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is going to carry us some momentum. So who do we have next on the schedule then? We got UCLA, then on the road at USC, on the road at Wisconsin, bye week, home versus Ohio State, Washington, Purdue, Minnesota, Maryland. Looks like a lot of W's on that schedule, to be honest. And USC, I think we can go out there and beat them, in all honesty. It's going to be a close game, I feel, but I think we have a good matchup versus them. We'll see if we can keep this defensive presence going. Got to take care of UCLA next week. They're not very good, but I think that will be a good test, litmus test. Hey, we just came off a big win. Can we do it again next week? And I hope the answer is yes. So,
yeah, and that USC game is obviously, like you said, we have to get through UCLA, but the USC game is a little tricky because it just depends what time that game kicks off. Obviously, it's not going to be a noon Eastern time kickoff, but Big Ten has said that they will play West Coast games at 3:30. So you look at that week, and Ohio State is at Oregon. That's probably going to be that's either a 3:30 or 7:30 game. You would think that Big Noon would be really mad that they can't have that game because you're not going to play Oregon at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
And just looking down through, I mean, really the only other game – oh, sorry, I have it on top 25. I would think that we are the second best game that weekend in the Big Ten. So if CBS picks up Oregon, Ohio State, then that makes us the 7:30 game on NBC. So that helps a lot rather than playing an early West Coast game.
Yeah.
But we got to get through UCLA.
I agree. And Christian says, what are your thoughts about the Ohio State game? I mean, it's Ohio State. Do I think we beat them? Probably not. Do I think it's close? Yeah. And I think if we're going to beat an Ohio State, this is probably the year to do it, especially if we can run the ball like we have been able to. But we still have some work to do. I'm not super confident that – I don't know. Our offense is so like hit or miss. Like we could have scored a lot more points today. Like we're extremely efficient, but we still have some kinks to work out. So hopefully by Ohio State, we can get that together. It gives us a chance. I think it'll be a close game, but I've seen us lose a lot of close games to Ohio State at home at the whiteout. So it would be ill-advised to bet on Penn State winning that game if I had to guess at this point in the season. Wow, this Georgia-Alabama game is crazy. Georgia just scored to take the lead.
Did they? I saw that they were back within 5, but
34-31 right now.
Wow. They were down 28-0, weren't they? Or 21-0?
21-7 at one point.
Okay.
21-0, I think, yeah.
Yeah. The other thing about the Ohio State game is let's not overlook that we have at USC bye week at Wisconsin right before Ohio State. That's a pretty decent tough stretch, whereas Ohio State has I was just looking at it. They have at Oregon bye week, Nebraska, and then us. So maybe, if Nebraska is at all legit, they have a really tough game the week before coming to Penn State. So
yeah,
that's going to be a good one, I think.
Dude, everybody in Bama is surrender Cobra right now. It's hysterical. Every single person. They're going for 2 right now.
Makes sense. You're up 1, you got to go for 2.
Yeah. It was like a 68-yard touchdown, too.
Carson Beck has 406 passing yards. Wow.
Oh, he didn't get it. He was like half a yard short. Does Bama go down and kick a field goal? That'd be wild.
I want to go watch the game. So let's wrap up Penn State.
All right. Yep. That's all I got for Penn State. Thanks for everyone who watched. Sorry, Zach's not on to give more in-depth analytics. Be on the lookout. We'll get a video out this week for the UCLA game. So thanks for those. Go check out our live stream from the watch along. It's pretty awesome. So appreciate you guys.
Make sure you like and share this video. Like and share.
And subscribe.
Subscribe.
We're up to 501. So
let's go.
Thanks for watching the Nittany No Huddle podcast. Check us out on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Podcasts are posted weekly on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss one of our new shows.